Alrighty. It's time to get these all marked and where I want them. And I think I'm pretty close. Now I got, of course, more hanging off over here on this end, but I've got less material. So I could drag it this way a little bit more. But the more I do, the narrower it has to be. So there's a price to be paid for doing so. So I think I like it kind of back where it was. Only because I get the width. I gotta be careful when I put the insert in. I get the width. Let's move this more centered. So I get the width that I need, and it's center of gravity probably pretty close. So let's walk over here. I got kind of a mess. I've been cleaning up. We've got a big bonfire. I don't know if you can see it out there. We're trying to burn all the little sticks and smaller branches from the tree out back. So while we're doing that, I decided to clean up all my spare wood. So I was actually able to clean up 2 bins. I'm probably like all wood people. I'm kind of a hoarder of pieces of wood. But like ammo, I'm a hoarder on ammo too. But I keep too much. So just went out. So I got 3 bins that were full of wood and about 4 other boxes, and ended up with just 1 little tin of just wood I probably can use for sure. And then of course I've got some spare woods over here and over here that I bought. These were turn-in woods. So anyway, that kind of wasn't part of the video, but I've been meaning to clean all this for a while. So 1 big bin of wood was there. Had another one sitting here in front. I just collect too many pieces. Anyway, we are going to use a little Sharpie here. And I'm just going to eyeball this. So now it seems like it's over this way a little too much. Looking at this side and that side. If I swing this leg in, I'm going to swing that leg in also. So I don't really want to do that. So I'm just going to pick this up, slide it over. This end right here is what controls my width. So that looks a lot better. I am heavier on material over here. I wonder if I ought to slide it this way just a little bit. You see, if you see this edge here sticks out versus this side that is vertical. So I could do that. I could slide it. If it let me, I could slide it this way just a little bit. I can't go a whole lot more though. I might be able to go maybe another 1/2 inch. That would put me there. And that's more centered to the top, I think. So that looks good. Too bad I can't spin that out a bit. It is kind of weird that that's off the edge a little bit, but I don't know if you'll really notice. It's all kind of aesthetic. That's a straight up and down right there. Might notice. Again, I'm trying to keep that side there from being tippy. So if I got, yeah, I'm looking. So if I've got that much there, well, maybe it is a little too far. Be really nice if I had tape measure. Wouldn't it? All right, so we're about 3 1/4 from that edge. Remember, I've got an edge out here. So that would be about, if I use my calibrated eyeball, that's about a 3.5. That's not bad, considering. I think I'm not too far off here. So right at 1 inch, right at 1 inch. So that actually looks really good. Like I said, I shifted this direction a little bit. You do have this little lean. I think overall, I think that looks pretty good. So I would be about 1 3/4 there, 1 3/4 there. Let's say 3 1/8, and a lot more than 3 1/8. But this spins off to the side here a little bit. So I think that's good. So what we're going to do is I'm going to try to do 2 inserts per each one of these. I kind of debated on that, whether I do 1 or whether I do 2. I want more than 1 bolt in this, though. It's going to my grandkids. They're going to be crawling all over it. So let's start with the easy ones. We'll draw our little holes. Mr. Sharpie. I want to kick this around too while I'm doing it, because that's going to be helpful. Oh, yeah, see? Got Mr. Wiggly wiggling. So you gotta remember that top one kind of wiggles a little bit. And then how do I want to do these? Because I need to be real careful I don't split some of this wood off when I do the insert. And that looks a little thin. Try to quit doing that. I may just measure both of these after I get those put in. If that makes sense. I'll sink one of the inserts back there, and then put another one there, get a bolt in them, and then measure these out, because this is wiggling too much. Right? So the problem is if I set holes on this, I'm going to jack that up. Or if I set holes in that, I'm going to jack this one up. So off of what my stuff is. So I think that's what I'll do, is I'll just go ahead and get the inserts set there. So we'll be back in a sec. Alright. So getting ready to put these on, just figured I'd talk about this real quick. I really like these inserts. I've used them on pretty much every table I've made. I forget who, I saw somebody's channel on YouTube that used these, and I can't remember exactly who it was. But anyway, I really liked them. So whoever you were on YouTube, appreciate you. I ordered these. I'm a big fan of 1/4 20 bolts. I ordered these for 1/4 20. Now I do have some little button heads that fit in these that are 1/4 20, and I've used these on most tables. On this one, I don't know. That flange is pretty thick. I may end up using a shorter bolt. We'll see. We'll try. We'll see how they fit. But really, what you do is you drill for this particular type and size. You drill a 3/8 inch hole, and then you essentially, usually what I'll do is I'll go ahead and lube it up with some beeswax or a little bit of Johnson's paste wax, just to make sure I don't split the wood, because you got to be very careful. These will split the wood. So I do a 3/8 inch hole, whatever depth that is. So I'll mark that on the drill bit with a Sharpie. Usually I go a little bit lower, because to be quite honest, I end up putting these in and then I take them back out and then I glue them. But I will go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and drill these 2 holes here. So I keep pushing down here, but I'll go ahead and drill these 2 holes here. You guys don't need to see me do that, and I can't drill and hold the camera at the same time. But I'll drill those 2. I've got one over here only because I'm a little worried about when I was marking these out with the Sharpie, if that how that moved. This was the bigger of the two, the more definite, I thought. So I'm going to go ahead and drill this one out, and then I'll see if this mark fits right. So the purpose of this again is I'm going to go ahead and drill these, put these inserts in. So I'll get these two inserts in. I'll get one insert in over here, then make sure I mark my spot here, and then I mark my spot on the other two legs up there, and then take it back off, finish out those inserts, and then what I'll end up doing is I'll actually end up putting some felt on the bottom of that. I've bought some felt pieces. So I'm going to put some felt on the bottom of that just because I don't really want it to, not really for any reason, but just those are kind of an abrasive metal, and I just don't want them scuffing up this as people kick things and all that kind of stuff. So we'll put the felt on there. That'll help protect the wood a little bit. It'll also allow for any sort of real imperfections if the wood's not perfectly flat, or if that's not perfectly flat. So it allows for a little bit of give in there, and then I'll just torque those down. So another reason why I may have to go get some 1/4-20 bolts. I actually have some, so I have a bunch of 1/4-20. I use them for a lot of things. So anyway, so I've got assorted sizes, of course. I actually have some 1 inch, but I think they're a little long, to be quite honest. But I'm not sure. Once I really get a washer on there, I may need to try to go to Lowe's, pick up some 3/4 or something, or just hacksaw some off. I don't know. It just kind of depends. So I don't know. 1 inch might be a little too long. That's the smallest I have, and then I've got some others. But anyway, so let me get the holes drilled. Hopefully no drama. Get the holes drilled. A couple of inserts in. I may just do the one insert here and the one insert there, really just to make sure I got my lines all down good. The other thing I'm doing is, if you notice, the bottom of this isn't perfectly finished. I actually still have some sanding to do on the sides after the pour, which is sitting on the towel. So I've still got a little bit of work to do for a finish, but I want to go ahead and get this done this weekend if I can, and get it all ready. And I can work on it once it's on the stand. So I figure once it's on the stand, I'll go ahead and I can get the sides done. But actually, I'm going to get the bottom finished once I get the inserts in there. Basically, it just needs to be hit with some light sandpaper. So I'll just hand sand it all and put one more coat of poly on it, and then that'll kind of help somewhat. It'll help seal these in a little bit more too, so that'll help quite a bit. So anyway, and then of course, then I'll be ready for mounting. I can get the sides sanded down and get another coat of poly on those, and she'll be ready to be put together at that point. So that'll be fun. So looking forward to it. Let's get this done. I'll come back here in a minute. Alright, I'm going to try to see if I can video this or not. I will say, so the first thing I really want to do is I want to get this little insert all lubed up. It doesn't have to be. I just find it a little easier to work on. It doesn't scare me so much if I feel like it's going to start cracking the wood. Now, one thing I always use if you're new to woodworking, Johnson's Paste Wax. Pick up a batch of this stuff. I can't say enough good things about Johnson's Paste Wax. I use the crap out of it for just about everything. Use it on your saw blades. Use it on your hand planes. Use it on everything. So I'm going to grab a couple of inserts. I'm going to go ahead and wax them up. I actually keep mine in the refrigerator, just because we live in a hot, humid climate and this thing just turns into goo. So I keep it in the beer fridge there, along with my CA glue. So anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and put those two there. And really the thing with these is you just want to try to keep them square. They come with a little Allen wrench that fits them, and you just want to keep them square. Just feel the wood as you're putting them in. So just ease them in. You're not ripping them in. You don't need to put your drill bit in here because you'll split a piece of wood right in half. So you just want to ease them in, let them find a home. I'm not being rough with them or anything. And you don't have to glue these in either. Now see, I put that little countersink in so it sits really flat. So that's good. You don't have to, necessarily glue them in. You can if you want to, or not. It kind of depends. I don't know if you guys can see. We'll see how this video turns out, but I don't know if you can see this one. So I'm going to do this one over here. Same way. Just kind of feel it cutting in. Now remember this one, if you buy these from Amazon, just look up inserts, table, or just, if you like quarter 20, look up, 1/4 20 inserts, and you'll find these, and they come in a variety of sizes, so you don't have to do quarter 20 necessarily. I just happen, like I said, I just happen to have a lot of it because I use it for fences and things, so I like quarter 20. It gives me, it's the thread count and diameter that I just happen to use a lot. So anyway, so that's really it for those inserts. You just set them in like that, and then, if you want to mount your table, so I use them on all my tables. If you want to mount your table right, then it's basically you just got to find something with quarter 20 inserts, or actual threads, and then they'll screw just right on in, see? So there you go. Remember, you always want to have some of your wood wiggle. You want wiggle room in your wood. Usually I have some L brackets that I buy that have a vertical slot and a horizontal slot, and I'll put the vertical slot on the bottom and the horizontal slot on the side, and I'll go ahead and I'll put inserts at the bottom and then insert at the sides. And that's the nice part about these inserts is, they're not that wide, so you can actually put them in a 3/4 inch board without them busting through the other side. You gotta be careful about that, but you can. Anyway, so you put them on the side, and that'll allow your table to move back and forth. So anyway, so just be aware. So those are in, and not too complicated. Really just needed the drill 3/8 inch bit. So 3/8 inch bit. Got my little countersunk bit to get rid of the ugly plastic, and little Johnson's paste wicks to make them slide right on in. So that's kind of it for the inserts. Not a whole lot on them. Like I said, what I'll do is I went ahead and sunk these two so I can get the rest of the holes set. And then what I'll do is once I get the rest of the holes set, I will go through, put a little bit of Titebond 3. I'll raise these out, put a little bit of glue in there, squirt it down for some Titebond 3, let it cure overnight. Usually I'll stick a little thing down there because the Titebond will pool up at the bottom, and I don't want to, have to use a bunch of washers because my screw can't go in there because it's filled full of glue. So just a little bit of Titebond will help seat that and keep it going, and then it makes it easy to take the top and remove the top from the base. So that's the other plus of these. Is that I've moved a million times, so as you're moving furniture, as you want to work on stuff, this makes it really easy to do that. So anyway, look them up. Inserts, it's a good deal. So all right, I've already done 3 of these, so I figured I'd try to snap just a quick clip for the overall video. And essentially what I'm doing is putting just a little bit of glue on these. Now I kind of wanted to show you how much you have to put on. It's not a lot. I mean, you can fill, I've done it many ways. You can fill the hole and then put it in there. But essentially what you want to do is you just want to get enough glue on it to I don't know if necessarily it glues the metal to the wood. I think there is some of that adhesion, and good old Titebond's a good one to use with it. So I don't know if there's that adhesion or if it just swells the wood a little bit and make it a little bit tighter. But I usually glue them. I don't put a whole lot on, so I just wanted to kind of show you what I do. So basically, I just put a little ball on there, kind of like that. I'm sure there's probably better ways to do it, and I'm sure we may have commentary on that. And then, you can always go out and buy one of those expensive applicators and glue spreaders and all these fancy crap, but at the end of the day, the best spreader you have come free on your hands, and that would be your doigts or your digits or your phalanges or your fingers, whatever you want to call it. Whatever it is in whatever language you have. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And so just as you saw, I put a little thing of glue on there. Just got it around the edges of the threads. Used my fingers to do that. And what that'll do, if nothing else, it'll swell up the wood in here and make it a little bit tighter around the edges. I would say though, usually on my inserts, that they don't really come out, so I think Titebond's pretty good. I haven't had any that have decided that they wanted to come out. Also keep in mind that it's right. It's the correct threading. So as you tighten your bolt, you also sink this down further, so you make this tighter into the wood. But that's kind of it. I did all three of them. It was just a little ball of glue, a little bit of glue on my fingers, which is no big deal. Actually gives you something fun to play with. Anyway, but yeah, that's pretty much it. It's just making sure you put a little bit of glue on those. Now, do you have to? I don't know. You probably don't have to, but it is something you do. So next up on this, I had a real busy week so far at work, so I haven't had a chance to work on this. But next up on this is I did sand it down a little bit. I'm going to come out here and just do some wipe-on poly on the top and the sides. I did hit it with some paint thinner. There's actually still a little bit on this rag, along with some glue. So I really don't want the glue on there. But anyway, now that I thought about that, I'll get me another rag, put just a little tad bit of paint thinner on here just to clean it off and keep it clean. At the same time, I'm trying to clean up my mess over there that direction for my workshop. That table is needs some work. I've been working on it for a while. But anyway, so we'll got those. Those are all nice and flush, countersunk. So that's, again, I had that little pop up of that plastic, and I just hit it with a countersunk tip, just kind of keep them flat. I have had a couple that I've left proud. I really thought about leaving these proud, but after I saw that epoxy kind of give me that ring, I thought, I don't really want that there. So I went ahead and did the countersink. I did put a little bit of glue up around the countersink, but it went pretty well. So that's kind of it. Got to get the finish on the bottom and the sides a little bit better. I did get the drips off the top pour, sanded down a little bit. I kind of wanted to leave them a little proud too, to be honest. I want the side to be a little rough and rugged. One of the, I guess, characteristics of this piece of wood was how rough milled it was, and I tried to keep it pretty, but at the same time leave a little bit of that rough milling in place, just because I don't know, I thought that was kind of neat. So I've got some scores up here and a few over here, but I want to make sure that they're all sealed and everything really good. So got to get the bottom here finish off. That'll be over the next couple days. I'm just going to do some wipe-on poly. Again, it's the bottom. It doesn't have to be great. The sides are going to be pretty much the same with some just clear gloss wipe-on poly. I'll put probably, I don't know, looking at this, maybe 7 coats on it. It's already got the epoxy on the sides and here. But I'll probably put maybe another I don't know. We'll see. Maybe 5 coats. White pine poly goes on really thin, so so anyway, so that's about it. So there you go. Short clip on putting the inserts in, and gluing them down. So there you go.